I'm glad you pointed that out. Screw you, Stream Deck. Stream Deck closed the script but never actually changed the scene. Fuck you. And I love this shit. Well, thank you for pointing that out, because that would have been bad.
Next stage.
Anyways, hi! I'm actually on the right screen now that my Stream Deck is no longer a factor. Anyways, we're doing 20s right now, which means getting Jupin out of the way. I didn't even know what my score was, but it's not a PG anyways. I don't even think that was a score improvement.
Plus 4.
Plus 4, okay. Plus 4. It was the very last tap of that drill. The very last tap of that drill, of course. Well, at least my legs are warm enough to be able to drill it. There's one interesting problem with this chart, because I'm on the same 2 fucking panels the entire time drilling. The vibrations actually kind of mess with my head, and my body vibrating. Like, this is worth doing as a shortcut because it's funny and focused, and it's a very short shortcut. It's only like 45 seconds. But, don't do this again, please.
And it's not socially for money.
I never even cleared that one. I cleared the 110 one, but I never cleared the 121. I still can't believe the 121 was est. Because Manuel did really funny strats.
Was it Prime 1 or Prime 2?
It was Prime 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no new IO, but Manuel still managed to get some kind of bracket strat going. I can't remember if it was foot switch bracketing or just jack bracketing, but he S'd it. And the video's still up, as far as I know.
I've seen people combo Death Moon Tail jack brackets in it. Like, combo is a ton of good, but still.
Yeah, but that's... Yeah, you can. But that's also way slower than doing Sorceress 120. Sorceress 120 is the equivalent... so 15, 30... So 32. It's the equivalent of 16th at 285. So it's fast.
Wow.
Yeah. Which was why I could not pass it. Get started.
Hey, is this really your best?
Math is an important skill. Even just using a calculator is an important skill if you need it. I screwed that up. again, too.
Absolutely perfect!
We're gonna get this and I'm gonna be done. And I better be done fast because my head vibrating in the middle of all these drills is honestly kind of starting to make me woozy.
Game over. New tunes. Great song shortcut.
Hey, Sprite, what's up, man? Oh.
Hey, is this really
Come
your
on,
best?
focus. It's not that hard. Thank goodness, because my jaw vibrating cannot handle this chart anymore.
Wow! New record!
Ugh. Yeah, when I'm actually warm, that isn't that bad. But usually I'm not warm when I play this.
Next
So at least that's one
stage.
down. So let's go down the list of like easier things. I say easier, but chicken wing is next. Hey, what's up, Axel? Thankfully, it's normal chicken wing, not shortcuts.
Shortcut. Original. Physical zone level 10. Level 20.
This one does have its difficulties though, so I do have to be careful. also turn JT on. There is. Yeah.
Absolutely perfect!
So JT is what shifts the timing window earlier or later. So JT -5 makes it as early as it can be, and plus will make it later. It's a nice thing to have, but also don't use it as a crutch for timing if you don't have the fundamentals built. It's good for knowing when a certain song is off and you can use it then. But I've seen a lot of players get trapped where they just default to JT -5 because they hit early. And now you haven't forced yourself to time things more accurately, which is needed for upper level techniques. So you get very stuck in a few months. It's one of those things where, yes, you get short-term gains, but you won't get long-term gains if you don't know what you're doing with it. It's not cheating. It's an in-game option. Like, it is offered in-game in Phoenix. It's fair game. That's not cheating. It doesn't make it bigger or smaller. It just moves the window. Which is exactly why I'm going to use it right now. There's very little you could say is cheating when it's selectable in-game. Like, if you tried to play something on Rush 80 or 90 back in the day, recorded a video, and then tried to pass it off as a normal speed, then yeah, that would be cheating. But stuff like that is like, even if like you normally would be like disqualified from a score using it, as long as you call it out and say, I'm just using this mod explicitly, then it's fine. That can help. Yeah, there are differences between machines depending on hardware. I even had JT -1 for my SGDQ showcase just in case, because I wasn't really sure and I wasn't going to take chances.
I'm not sure if that was a plasma screen or not.
The stream was fine. It wasn't a screen issue.
I know, I'm just saying I'm not sure if it was plasma or LED.
I don't care because I cared more about the pads, which were trash for construction reasons. I don't care about anything else at that point. Play it out. A lot of slop in my timing there. Well, it hasn't been 19 for years. So
Next
whatever.
stage.
It hasn't been 19 for years. I'm
look at the list of what else I still need to play. There's at least some other stuff that shouldn't be that bad, like Trick Lash Double, Halcyon, Blazing, Ice of Death. Even some of the more annoying ones like Beat of the War should be able to do.
I think I saw the gimmicks got you.
Hmm.
I saw the new gimmicks probably got you.
No, I probably just screwed up in general. It's not like it's hard. They give the same score because they just didn't bother adding points to it. Nobody cared back then. They just don't care. It's just completely optional.
Level 20.
That's always hard to get. That's always a hard one.
Hey, is this really your best?
I mean, they just do that. That's just kind of just been the culture down there in Latin America. It was to put HJ on pretty much everything. They can do that. That's fine. It's the heckling of, you're not playing HJ, so this score doesn't count. That's where I draw the line and tell them off. But that doesn't happen nearly as much anymore, thankfully. Like, thankfully, that is a problem that is very much reduced.
New series. Difficulty zone double. Difficulty zone single. Level 10. Level 20.
Hey, Regen. That's my fault. I felt that. I didn't put M on. I really wish Pass would just stay activated. I'm on premium.
New series. Difficulty zones level 10. Level 20.
That's always a scary part.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Come on. Let me just get in this game. It's been 2 years. Let me have this one.
Next stage.
Let me get this one. And yeah, it's frowned upon not trading with HJ over there, but unless they're paying for your games, I wouldn't pay them any attention. If they're offering to pay you your games to play with HJ, I would take up on that honor because that's free money in your pocket. That's the only way you're going to get me to play with HJ regularly, is if you are going to pay for my games. People get real quiet when you push back like that. Yeah, because in the end, unless somebody's paying for your games, it's your money. Play the game how you want. It is your money. And this is especially our money when Haru and I paid, what, $2,300 for Phoenix? It was a lot. We paid a lot for our Phoenix kid. I will play whatever the frick I want in my own house. Like I said, that last little stair turn is kind of hard for me.
Absolutely perfect!
Good to get that out of the way.
Wow! New record!
Thank you. Although, ironically, because of what I ate for breakfast, I have to change the name of the song because we're playing Chicken Thigh.
Next stage.
Yeah, I had leftover churches from yesterday, like this morning.
Yeah. The chicken leg yesterday.
Imprinting? Yeah, that one's been tripled. As far as I know. I can check later. It is 21 now, as far as I remember. But yeah, we're always joking about like a new Chicken Wing remix eventually coming out, and it's gonna be a percussion-based remix, so it's gonna be called Drumstick.
I'll give you all my pizza and chicken wings.
Wow. No, you wouldn't. You would not give me your pizza.
You can have all my chicken wings though.
Yeah. Okay, so there's actually still plenty of other things I need left to do, so like Full Moon. Anyways, let's go to other stuff for now. Let's go.
Level 21. Difficulty zone level 17. Level 20.
Chick Flash. their silly burst at the very end.
I have weird dreams since it's.
I mean, I know the song. You know I played this for a long time at Wolfex. That part I do need to look at the rhythms. Hey, Amir. I kind of got lucky, but also I didn't really understand.
Wow! New record! Next stage.
Yeah, okay, it's exactly what I think it is. I just have to go for it. Okay. Just have to go for it. Shouldn't be a problem. The rest of this is really easy, so it's not gonna be a problem after that.
A man trapped in a web.
gotten a grade early on, so this might be all for naught. Okay.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
I do think the balance of this one is a little more lopsided than it needs to be, because the ending is way harder than the first minute and a half. Like, it all flows fine, but it just feels weirdly balanced in that regard. I don't know what you're talking about, Amir. There is like one good confirmed case of like a lower level difficulty is easier than the higher in modern games, and that is dual shortcut. That is like the one instance I can actually think of. Okay, I take that back because Jupin shortcut, you could probably make a case for that too.
You said dual shortcut or you said
Dual.
Oh, you forgot to.
Blue doesn't have a shortcut,
I mean, regular.
but I wasn't talking Blue shortcut. Like, I get what you're saying, but that's not what I was referring to. Especially since that's one section versus the entire chart. Because the rest of the chart in the newer clue chart is harder. By quite a bit. Hey, Center. That is definitely debatable and understandable. Like, I can see the argument for that. Anyways, how you doing? Halcyon
Level
says,
20. Difficulty zone single. Level 20.
I would honestly like to stop playing this song in games. Like, I'm honestly sick of this song. We'll play it out. I love getting stuck everywhere.
Absolutely perfect!
Yeah, the thing is, I've played this in multiple games, and I'm more sick of this than playing Conflict. The thing is, I still like Conflict as a song.
Over.
I've never really cared for Halcyon. Like, I've just never really cared for Halcyon. There is never anything bad, but I've just never cared for it. And yeah, the cut is slightly different because it cuts off 8 measures near the end. 8 measures?
I hope it's the middle where there was a part cut.
There's a part there too, but it's the ending that always gets me because that part's different from Chrono Circle in terms of my playing.
For me, it's the middle more than it is.
I'm doing okay. So I did a whole bunch of volunteering for Lady Arcaders. They had their Lady Arcaders Super Showcase over the weekend. So I spent a good chunk of hours, like 3 or 4 hours per day for the last 4 days, doing clip taking for them because they let anybody do that kind of position. Like mostly it's a women and femme based group, but they are friendly, and they do allow some positions to be done by anybody if they know you and you're in a good spot with them. So I had fun doing clip taking, got some fun stuff, and we rolled it out to media. But it was tiring, so I'm just kind of using my last couple days of my weekend to just do whatever. Especially since I actually have games coming up for marathons. I guess we can just talk about that real quick. So I didn't make the announcement yet, but the list for Slurpathon actually came out a few days ago, and I will be running not only Pump for a showcase, I will also be doing Overload, which is not something I had played in like 6 years. So thankfully I got the game reinstalled on this computer, and it works perfectly good. So I'm gonna work on getting my PB up to speed and hopefully push it down by another couple minutes before the marathon in a month. And speaking of marathon, shout outs to Fastest Furs. I didn't submit for them this time because they had the same weekend as Slurpathon, so I didn't want a conflict. But their games list just came out like a day or two ago, and there's some really good stuff on them, so big shout outs to them. So yeah, I'll be doing both Overload and Pump, so that means I need to get a Pumps set list ready. I'll see what else I've done in the past and go from there. Kind of want to focus on more new Phoenix things, just to shake it up. I always like theming my showcases a bit differently. So that'll be on with the docket for the next month because Slurpathon is next month. So, anyways, let's go back to Halcyon. Yeah, for Lady Arcaders, we raised, I think, a little over $5,000 for care, so it was a good weekend. It was fun.
Level 20.
Those are 12s.
Is this really your best?
Good job, me. This is how much I don't want to listen to Halcyon.
so distracted by all the squeaking because my toe keeps getting stuck.
That's what the song was.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
I don't know about favorite songs. It's hard to say. Now, if you group it by songs by era, maybe I can narrow it down. But in general, it's hard for me to find favorite songs. Because honestly, a lot of favorite songs are songs that haven't been in the game for well over a decade at this point. Yeah, it's a decent size song, but it's also just not really polished in some ways because it's so old. I agree. I do not like Freedom Dive. I have made that very explicitly clear. And that's the unfortunate part because I enjoy actually playing Freedom Dive, just not listening to it.
I'm the other way around. I don't mind the song, but I hate playing it.
No, Freedom Dive is like bottom tier for me because it's just so obnoxiously blaring the entire time. I honestly don't see Freedom Dive even being a good song for a dance game anyways. Like, there's no real pacing for it. I don't get what the hype is about Freedom Dive. I've never liked it. Never have liked it as a song. Like, some people really stand by it, but I just do not see the appeal. So Freedom Dive is a very old song by Psy. It was very famous for BMS. Frank, keep messing up the ending. Battle Elixir's okay, but it's not something I listen to a lot. Man, I just cannot get this ending.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Ripping It Up was fine. That was a good song. Yeah, I'm more about Perosia.
Next stage.
I don't think Wild Card is in any game. That's a favorite of mine of size. But I don't think Wild Card is in any game. wish we would get more Future Funk Squad stuff, but they just didn't. We had Blow in Infinity, and we had Ripping It Up ported to K-Punk for a while, but just didn't get anything after that. I know he's still producing music, but I think he...
Right, the covers not pieces.
No, that's SGX. Just Ripping It Up and Blow, that was it.
I think Blow is a bit repetitive.
It benefits from having a rapper, a good rapper at that. Having Mojo rap was definitely a good choice.
Ripping It Up was good as a song, but the charts were severely...
You don't need to go into that. You don't need to go into that. Because I have opinions about that. But, unfortunately, Glenn's just... He's busy. Like, I remember a decade ago, he had just become a dad. So, I remember talking to him. He's really nice. Super great guy. But, he just is busy. And he's doing... I think he's still doing music production. But he's just busy. Yep, that was a funny mission. That was a fun one. And it ended up just sort of getting used that way in an XX mission.
your best?
My technique is not good in those sections. I need to be more careful. I don't know if it's a technique issue, if I'm just going that early. I'm gonna put JT minus on because it feels like it's really late. Probably that, but I can't tell. Oh dear, I've got a Verilix raid. Oh dear, hi sir. Hi Verilix and Raiders, welcome in. Hope you had a good stream, sir. Hope you've been good. Yeah, I know, game over. Anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Zelo, or Zello, however you want to say it. I play dancing games, I do speedruns of stuff. I'll have to do some speedruns soon because I do actually have a game in a marathon next month, so we'll be playing Overload over the next month, hopefully. But right now I'm trying to just clean up scores on Pump, finish out stuff in the 20s folder, and get some perfects. Hey, PB's a PB, especially in Prime. That's a tough run. Good job. What's the next IGT target? Because I don't know how low the record is now, so I actually have no idea like what the relative targets are. But Prime as a run has come a long way in like 10 years. Shoot, if I wanted to match you on that, I'd turn the game off right now and plug in Pump It Up Prime. 51 and 50. Okay, well, I wish you luck. I'm sure you can get a 51 soon. Just don't pull an ActRaiser. 42? What the fuck? That's like ridiculous. 42.
Neptunes. Difficulty zone 0. Level 20.
Anyways, like I said, I'm grinding songs and trying to get perfect scores on them. So be prepared to hear songs a lot over and over. Unless you are used to the stream. Oh yeah, I was gonna turn on GT. That was close. Yeah, okay, that's definitely a technique issue.
Hey, is this really
I definitely
your
have a
best?
technique issue. I'm gonna look at it. If I'm doing something wrong, I turn around the panel and get a grade. I need to look at this and see what's going on. Let's see here. Playback smooth, very smooth, so I can see. Yeah, well, see it. Ah, okay, I see it. That's why we have things. So when I have this little corner turn to the center, to the side and then back, this foot that's supposed to hit center is hitting here and hitting the next red arrow by accident. So that's my fault. So this is why we have technique checks. So when I'm doing this, I need to make sure my left foot goes way out of the way. Same thing happened at the end. Frick. I need to put my foot back like way farther than I think I need to. Because it's the same issue. It's the same part. Like it's the same kind of pattern. It's funny because I don't have that problem with my other foot. But I am right foot dominant, so. had to do was just pick my feet way up.
Absolutely
Sure.
perfect! Wow! New record!
PB is a PB, but that took way too long to get. Especially since it's not even that hard, like, of a chart to PG. But we got it eventually. So I'll be happy, and we can move on to some things that are going to be a little bit less hassle. Because Full Moon is next.
Sometimes you just get stuck there, and that's the whole reason the memories today. Just can't do it. Never comes very big
This should be relatively easy. Watch me eat shit on that.
I think it also has some side stuff. Different has something that I get missing.
Well, I already did the full version, so I should be able to do this one. This song is okay, but it's one of my lesser favorites. I definitely like the other Dreamcatchers more as a whole. Sleepy time sounds good. Nope, easy. Just must have gotten stuck on a run at one point.
Absolutely perfect! Next
Yeah, that one should have been done
stage.
2 years ago, but hey, better late than never.
Did you do the double already?
It's not on my list. Pretty sure I did. Because I can see the end of my list, and it's not on there. I think I did do it, because weren't we comparing it to Goodnight? Well, I know we did that for one Dreamcatcher, but I don't remember if it was Full Moon or if it was You and I. Anyways, we'll worry about that later. I got other stuff to worry about, because, hey! Time to do some jumping. Time to do jumping. Frick!
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
And it was a nice clean ending too. I think this transcription is competent for bringing double to single, but that comes with its minuses of bringing double to single. And a lot of the fun pad movement is just gone. Like, I'm one of the few people who actually still praises Slam Nightmare for still being good for its time and still holding up despite its wonkiness.
Game over!
Yes, Temple was definitely an art. Temple was an old mission for those who don't know. It had a very funny instance of a chart for this song. It was don't get an S, but there were 5 hits in the middle of these funny sweeps. Yeah, funny jump sweeps. So if you really tried hard, you could fail the mission by its condition. But you still had to pass by a life bar, so...
Just slap life on
Well, there's one good upside to playing old songs. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm like not really keen with songs getting so long in general these days.
New team! Use the difficulty zone single. Level 20.
That must make Moonlight Shortcut the greatest song in the game. Like I said, a good transcription of what was Nightmare, what is now D22, but it comes with its problems. That's my call.
Hey, is this really your best?
I can. There's some comparisons that can be made, at least pre-2015. Because there were definitely machines that had their, even for long version songs, they'd only take up 1 round. So I definitely saw my share of people playing Pendulum for a good 30 minutes straight on 1 credit. Nowadays, ITG is more a home game, so that's a lot less of an issue.
your best.
I want to know what's happening there. I don't like this. I want to know what's happening. We definitely got some kind of technique thing again. Am I really just that late? Apparently I am.
Will it be safe with the jump?
No, that's not the issue. I really am just that late. There's one thing I hate about old songs, unfortunately. Rock songs in general are not quantized very well, and there's not a steady BPM. It just kind of drifts back and forth. So it's impossible to stay at a exact 131.99. You just have to kind of like gauge it as it goes. Century Wood. Okay. We just need to pay more attention to the sync. And we need to go earlier there. Like I said, just had to just stay early that time. All good. Step by slam.
Perfect! Wow! New record!
Oh, it absolutely was. It's not quantized. It's rock. It's not quantized. Vincent had to fix it for us. That's why it's actually fixed at Infinity. Because he did direct audio editing. He fixed Slam. So it's an exact 132 as it should. Because good DAWs have functions for that.
So it's like Crying Nut, but not so bad.
Not nearly as bad. Crying Nut is in its own league, unfortunately.
They're good.
They are good, but they're in their own league of music does not match BPMs in game. I do have to blame Yop because I remember he dropped the BPMs for Astral Song, and I'm like, I can assure you this is not correct.
That's why when I played, I'm like watching.
Alright, at least that's out of the way. That one didn't take too long.
Level 20. Difficulty zone level 16. Level 20.
This one just has a few annoying parts, but it's not that hard. Just have to pay attention. me slipping up. Won't be that hard to get.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record! Next stage!
You know, through no fault of like Pori might have made like the 2 originals in XX by the same artist that are like the most divisive between the two. Because as a whole, Percent X was received well as a song in VGA. This was received very poorly, both song and especially VGA. So it's just like weird to think about. You have like one of the best songs, like originals composed, then you also have one of the like most hated, unfortunately. I do find the song better now, and I don't really like the BGA is not a deal breaker for me. It could be a lot better, but it's not a deal breaker. But a lot of other people do not share that sentiment. But also, people have just kind of forgotten about it at this point, so it's like, it is what it is. It really wasn't a deal breaker. Not too bad. Exactly. Exactly, Mitan.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
It especially became forgotten when they removed the hardest charts. S22 and D24 just went bye-bye. Even though, as annoying as they were appropriately annoying. So I saw no reason for them to actually go. Sometimes it's fine to have some annoying things, and they're made well enough. And I felt Las Cinquantanes were well made enough.
They were really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Game over!
Alright, we're skipping Move That Body because that's like almost impossible at the end. That's an extremely hard one at the end. Let's move on. I got Ice at Death. That should be easy. Hey, ESM is a good chart. I won't say anything about the song, but it's a good chart.
New tunes! Difficulty zone single!
I never play this one. That's on me. I also didn't put M on, did I? Come on, just do the notes, man. I want to enjoy the song because it is Hungarian Dance, number 5. But I have to actually focus. I like Hungarian Dance number 5. A lot. As do a lot of people, to be honest.
Including User Difficulty Zone Double Difficulty Zone Single. Level 20.
Like, out of like the known classical tunes, this one's still pretty well liked. It really shouldn't be a 20.
Absolutely perfect!
Like, it's fun, but it's not a 20.
Wow! New record!
Start with the side tones.
That somehow would make this one level below Ragnarok. No. No.
Next stage.
Honestly, Revolution is harder. Yeah, it is very ugly with the stops move. The stutter is just not a good fit. And it's like the stops fit the song, and they were repeatable and learnable. But players don't want to learn anything these days. So, bye-bye that. Alright, next. Now we get into kind of the weird ones to do. So I've got to be the war.
Level 20. Difficulty zone level 17. Level 20.
Let's see if I remember how to do this one. certainly isn't an easy one to get.
I think that was done.
That's not my concern. There's a lot worse to deal with in this chart than that. Thank goodness.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Yeah, the double step was the absolute least of my worries. Everything else is the problem. It was nice to get that first try back.
Next
Because that is a
stage.
very, very annoying and dated chart. It is very awkward to play. Like, it still is like an important stepping stone for this game's history, but it is pretty unpleasant. But hey, gotta experiment if you want to figure out what your game can actually do. And Kanji very much did.
Well, back in the day, they did the two big runs, and this song is not easy to chart. The two big runs.
Just glad that one's over with, because the rest is not going to be easy. Let's go Red Swang, Vanish, and Kugutsu, and then we're going to try and swing back and get some other ones. Yeah, Beat of the War at least had effort put in, like, and it was a time where we were figuring it out. That was over 20 years ago. I can cut some slack for that.
I think it might better than some other stuff. Probably.
It's hard to say. That's where was I going next? Red Swan.
Also super. Also super.
Oh yeah, this is. I should have put it in JT. Whatever. good.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Good to get that in one try too. Especially since I didn't put any offset adjustment on. JT would have been nice, but we got it going.
Next stage!
I will say, I do not like the song, or most of the charts, but the BGA is very pretty. Like, this is legitimately, I think, one of YSG's best works. Because it's very expressive. It is exactly what Swan Lake should be. And it's just pretty to look at. It's a good one.
I feel like D22 and call for this.
D22 and Co-op are good ones, but that's also because they're not HP's charts. Sorry, HP, it's just,
Co-op also EXE?
it's EXE's.
I like those treasures in co-op. Fun.
Alright, Vanish. So Vanish's main hard part is the very end, because I've got a 24th burst at the very end. So that's a concern.
Level 20! Difficulty zone level 11! Level 20!
I almost went to the wrong Vanish. I saw Vanish! Oh, that's the wrong one. Alright, this is all really on the burst at the end. And it's not like it's a slow burst either, because it is 24, it's at 174. Which is like past 260. So how much is that? That's 87. That's 261, yeah. So it's a fast burst at the end. That's also the reason why I have not PG D22. I've come close, but I don't know if I'll ever actually get it. The song is at least very good. Good start. Literally.
Hey, is this really your best?
I probably should have at least finished it out just so I could remember what the pattern was at the end. That's fine. We're just gonna do it. That was very early on starting that burst. So, need to not start so early.
Absolutely perfect! Wow!
This will probably take a few tries, but at least it's gonna be a fun one.
Game over.
I do find it funny they modified the first gimmick to be full speed, but they kept the second one slow. And it's just like, which is it? Is it gonna be slow or fast? Pick one. Like, pick one, not both. Ugh. Yes, the song is very good. Definitely was a good first impression of Apple Soda's music.
New tunes. Difficult zone single. Level 20.
Because admittedly, I did not know who Apple Soda was until XX. But they've done some pretty good music. Like this and Tales of Pumpnia are two excellent originals in XX. I think people weren't as fascinated by Vanish 2, and myself included, but it's still a pretty good song. And Pull Me Up and Rise is real good. Definitely captures like the feel of like DJ Max originals, but still keeps it in like Apple Soda style. So that one's like really, really good. Ah, good.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record! Next stage.
Okay. So now we get the one that I'm like actually scared of doing because this is a very, very, very scary ending. Like I don't even have this full comboed yet, so that's kind of a sign. But I also don't play it that often. it's tough at the end. It's not as big a jump as 23 at least.
Absolutely perfect!
You know, honestly, I'd probably be okay with leaving it as an upper end 20. Because it is just 12 notes. But it is a lot to juggle. It is a lot to juggle.
Next
I'm starting to get ready for lunch, so I don't think I'm going to play too much more. We've been going, what, 2 hours? I don't know if I go 2 hours. I'm still busy playing Overload again and just getting used to the game again before I have to run it in a month, so I kind of want to spend more time on that. So I think we'll end after we get Kugutsu. Because I can save some of those more annoying 20s for other days and just try one here and there. Because stuff I have left is stuff like The Devil, which only one person in the entire world has PG'd. And reminder, that chart has been out almost 15 years. So shoutouts to Hudson for being the only person to actually have a perfect score on that. And then there's other stuff I have to do again, like I've done End of the World, but that one's really annoying. Then I still have to do stuff that I've never done, like Move That Body and Destination. I'm glad you have faith, because I certainly don't have faith in me doing it. I am so slow these days. Because I'm like barely playing. No, it's not Hats. Hudson. Kaze. The American player and the step artist. This comes down to just paying attention at the end. Second try is fine. It's tricky at the end. Good.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Honestly, I don't mind that chart being the way it is. I have a lot more issues with D23 because D23 is way too hard at the end.
Next stage.
Like, the bracket patterns at the end of the D23 are harder than Slam D24s. Like, They're absolutely ridiculous. Alright. That should finish up like all of like the easier ones to get. Everything else is going to be a pretty big struggle. I guess I could play another world once just to see where I am on that. End of the world. I will tell you this much, I'm never doing the hand strat again. I'm just going to be doing this with my feet. Which was how I did this the first time, so shouldn't be that bad. Honestly, I could play it like that. I could probably do it this way. Let's take one more shot for the day. Join the party!
Unbelievable! Next stage.
Can absolutely do it this way. I don't like this chart, but at least it's funny. And it works. Because I can't say the same about Imagination, unfortunately. Ironically, the easier you try and make this kind of chart, the harder it gets. Because there's more gaps between notes, and that actually makes things harder. I'm going to save this for another day because I'm too hungry to focus. I was pretty productive with getting 20s out of the way. There's not too many left to do. If I manage to get any of the remaining ones, that'd be great, but I may have to stop this, especially since I'm going to be doing my set for Slipathon next month, so I need to plan a set ahead. Alright, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me for a session today. We might do a session tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. But in the meantime, let me see if I can find y'all a target for a raid. See who's doing some stuff. I'm just doing things on Twitch right now. Thank you again, Veralex, for the raid earlier. Appreciate it, buddy. Alright, Spoody's doing UFO 50 stuff. He's doing something called Cherry Rush. So we're gonna go over to Spooty.
And so I'll go say hi to Spooty. If I do a stream tomorrow, I'll probably be around this time again. If not, we'll do something maybe Wednesday before I go to work. But y'all have a good rest of the day or night wherever you are. And have a good rest of the day or night. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.